What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to talk about the new imprint stones, the new game mode chapter of 5. But before we get into that, some of you probably already noticed that I do have Ignits here, and I do have Zero. And the reason for that is because I did go ahead and do some summons yesterday, and I did record the video, but unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, my voice ended up sounding like a freaking chipmunk, so I couldn't post that video, so I do apologize for that. As far as what I did to get the characters and get the cards that I needed, I ended up using the free rubies that we got to do the cards. I had to go all the way to Pity. I got the 3PG for Zero during going to the Pity, and then I ended up using the card selector for Ignis' 3PG, and then I got one set card. I got one of these set cards, and that's it. Pretty much about the same as my free-to-play account. And as far as the character summons, I did go all the way to 4 summons from the Pity, which I will end up going to get that fighter selector. But I ended up getting Ignits. I ended up getting Ignits twice. You see I have them here, and I have Zero. And I got 1 memory for Ignits. So I got Ignits twice, and I got Zero once. I'll go to the fighter selector. I'll be able to get a memory for one of those characters. I'm not sure really which one I get. It really depends if I get any more of Ignits during going to the Pity. I really don't want to spend any more money than that, to be perfectly honest, guys. So I'm not sure what's going to happen after this. I just wanted to make sure I got those 3 PGs. That was very important because they do work on the other characters, and that was the advice that I gave all of you. So I just wanted to let you guys know what I've gotten so far. Not terrible luck, not horrific, but definitely not the greatest. I was getting a little frustrated in the video because I think the first 10 summons I didn't get anything at all, like zero for the fighters or cards. It was just insanely bad. So let's talk about Chapter of Fight. Now, Chapter of Fight is a new game mode that they introduced in this game where we have to fight 4 of these blue stages, and then we got to fight a purple stage. And the higher you go, the more CP you're actually going to need. Now, the way this works is they want you to use a certain type fighter. So it's like right here on Chapter Fight 12, they want us to use a balanced type fighter. And if you use a balanced type fighter, you're going to get 25% max HP increase. So it is a good idea to use the fighters they recommend. However, you don't need to. Really, the most important thing here is having fighters with enough CP. So if you got some OP fighters, you got built up fighters with imprint stones, fest card sets, all jacked up, they're going to do just fine here. I've been using these guys so far, and I know I'm only on 12. I know I'm not very high. I can't play anymore right now because we're still waiting for this to reset in another almost 4 hours. But easily can plow through this. If you include a fighter that isn't a balanced type or whatever type they say, you're going to decrease your attack, and it says by 5%. And I did find out the hard way that if you include a fighter with a much lower CP than what they recommend, you'll get this decreased damage dealt by 6%, and this actually goes up as you go higher in stages. This actually goes up. The decreased damage dealt by blah percent, 1% of lacking CP, decreases continuous damage dealt by 12% per 1% of lacking CP. So in other words, if you have a low amount of CP and a high CP recommended stage, you're not going to do any damage. I was doing 0 damage when I used the low CP character on my free-to-play account. 0. It didn't matter how many times I attacked. It didn't matter at all. The other thing about this game mode is you can actually use your awakened seals and spam them. I haven't noticed any bugs. It seems to play very, very smoothly, which is something I can definitely appreciate, and I know a lot of you could probably appreciate. Let me know in the comments if it plays really smoothly for you, but I haven't had any problems. You can dodge, you can roll. It's actually pretty simple so far. Again, I'm only at Chapter 12. And, what do you get in here? Well, you actually get rewards. Oh, one more thing. You also, in the blue stages, you're gonna have 3 rounds. You're gonna be able to use 3 fighters, right? And so, if you win twice, then you can move up to the next stage. So if you're on 11, you win twice in that stage 11 round, then you're gonna move to stage 12, and so on, so on, so on. And you get first clear rewards, I believe, whenever you do the purple, which is actually pretty nice. These purple stages here, and in the purple stages, you're actually going to have 5 characters. So you got to win 3 out of 5. On the blue stages, you got to win 2 out of 3. So you want to make sure that you're using 2 very strong fighters for your blue stages, and you want to make sure you're using 3 very strong fighters for your purple stages. And you can keep using, at least so far, I still just keep reusing the same fighters over and over and over. Again, you will get the reductions if you're not using the correct fighters. You won't get these buffs. Like right here, you need to include a defensive fighter. Right here it says included attack fighter. It changes as you're going up. Now, as far as what you get in here, you'll actually get orbs, right? You'll get all these nice little orbs, and you'll get your first clear rewards. You'll get these rewards right here at your first clear. Now, so far, I have salvaged some imprint stones, and I haven't got any of these resources yet so far from salvaging. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm not really sure. So far, I've salvaged about 6 imprint stones, and I haven't got one of those yet. But you do get an insane amount of these shards right here. And as you can see, I have an abundance of those things. Now, something to note is, you know, we have the moonstone and we have star-shaped stone imprint stones, right? The moonstone here, the silver ones, you have it show you can get silver or you can get gold. And any type dot effect, I do believe. Yeah, I mean, they got starlight, they got strike skills, blast skills, grab, burn, poison, chill. All the dots are in here. Shock, everything, right? And the difference between gold and silver is pretty much like what we've already seen. The silver ones give you an increased HP and an increase to dot. Whereas the gold ones actually give an increased HP, increase to dot, and increase to a certain type fighter, which actually goes up to 12%. So really the gold ones are what you're striving for. And there are an insane amount of imprint stones in this one right here, right? But if you go down to the gold ones here, if you go down to the gold, right, go to the gold, you're going to notice that there aren't as many, which means that if you go for the gold ones here, you're actually going to increase your chances of getting the one you want. It's going to be RNG based. These are mystery boxes here, so you're not guaranteed what you're going to get. The one thing you can do as far as choosing which stones you want is you can just pick the color that you want. Now, you'll notice something on here. The red stones, you'll actually need these red orbs, right? You're going to need the gray orbs and these gold orbs for every single one of them. And when you get to gold, you're going to need all of these orbs as well. But for the green, you need the green orbs. For the yellow, you need the yellow orbs. For the blue, you need the blue. Purple, you need purple, and so on and so on and so on, right? And again, for the silver, you'll only need the crescent moon. If you're trying to go for the crescent moon, you'll need a star. If you're trying to go for the star, and then for the gold, you're going to need both of them. And you can see how many that you actually do need. And you can actually craft 3 of these per week. You can craft 3 of them per week. And I believe the way it works, you can craft 3 from here. And then if you go to a different one, you could probably craft 3 from there. I'm not really sure if that is what it is or not. I can't guarantee that. It might be you can just only craft 3 per week, period. But it might be just 3 per week per different selection boxes, right? You might be able to get 3 selection boxes from here and then 3 selection boxes from here per week, right? So that's pretty interesting. And these are going to add an insane amount of CP, especially if you're using the gold stones. I mean, adding that dot, adding that extra HP, adding that extra attack is just nuts. Oh. And you really are going to want to put those imprint stones on your strongest characters. Characters that you use in Guild Raid, characters that you use against the Spider Robot, characters that you use against the Immortal Dungeons. Those are the characters you're really going to want to put them on, like the BS, the SS, maybe some of your collabs. Because your collabs, well, we don't know right now, but so far the collabs have gotten imprint stones for the first 3 slots because that was all that was available before. But now that we have 5 slots, maybe in the next collab, we'll have 5 different imprint stones. I don't know. It's hard to tell if that's going to happen or not. And as far as crafting or salvaging your imprint stones, I always want to say craft. But as far as salvaging your imprint stones, if you salvage, say, one of these stones that you normally get in the game, let me scroll down here and find one. No. Okay, so like one of these stones right here, right? You can get some of these stones from some of the super missions that they offer. We just recently finished a super mission where we got some of these. And if you salvage this, you'll see we got these here. Well, I kind of clicked on that a little fast, didn't I? Let's see here. So let me show you what you get when you craft a gold imprint stone. These are not enhanced, and by the way, when they are enhanced, some feedback that I've gotten is you'll actually get hammers back. Now it takes an insane amount of hammers to level up one of these stones, and I'm just going to salvage an HP stone. I don't want to salvage any double attack, but you're going to get 50 of these babies, right? And that's what I mean. You get an abundance of those, and you see I got the purple, right? So this purple one here, means for the purple elements, that's going to help level up, give me purple element stones, and you're always going to get gray, and you're always going to get these golds. You get about the same amount of gray and gold every single time. You get the same amount of these every single time you craft one of these gold imprint stones. And I really do like the fact that we can salvage these stones. I mean, I know there's not all of us, but quite a few players like me have an insane amount of these stones. Now, let me show you what happens when you do a, let me see if I can find one here real quick for you guys. Let's go to I want to do a burn one here. A burn. Okay, so here we have a double attack burn stone, right? Right, and if we salvage that, you get the same resources. So if you salvage a double attack, and I know some of you probably think that's silly, but we had to do it for testing so I could show you guys what will happen if you do salvage one of those things, and you get the same outcome. Whether you salvage a HP stone or a double attack stone, you get the same resources. The colored orb here orb might change, but other than that, it's all going to be the same amount of resources pretty much, right? So that's something to keep in mind. And you definitely would only want to get rid of stones that you're not going to use. Now, one of my buddies in a live stream last night told me that he actually salvaged a silver stone, an maxed enhanced stone, and actually got 19 gold hammers back from it. So if you have extra silver stones and they're maxed out and you don't plan on using them, maybe you can salvage them. If you don't want, I'm not recommending that. I'm not telling you should do that. Something else to note is if you do salvage say I salvage a green stone like this one right here, right? You're not going to get a green orb, right? They give me a blue here. So that is also RNG based. You don't know what color ore you're actually going to get whenever you do salvage these things, but you just really want to salvage the ones that you don't need. Also, you get a free stone whenever you're doing the chapter of fight. Not free stone, but free ores, I believe is what they call them. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. You will get these right here, right? And these are what's going to help get you your first imprint stones. I'm not really sure how many of these you actually get. I'm just going to select one because, I don't know, is it just one? Let me look here. Go to craft. Yeah, I mean, it looks like you just get one of them. Wow. So that's kind of a bummer, right? And, I mean, the only place I've seen you get these so far is from the chapter of fight. It's not from salvaging, which kind of sucks. I mean, maybe you do get some from salvaging. Like I said, I've salvaged about 8 or 9 imprint stones so far. I'm going to salvage some more because I just don't need them. I have an abundance of those things. Plus, I have an insane amount of guild raid boxes in here, where I'm going to be getting a lot more stones. Bunches and bunches of these things. Man, I need to clean out my inventory, seriously. But I got bunches and bunches of these guild raid boxes. I'm not flexing, guys. I'm not bragging. I'm not boasting. I'm just saying this is what it is, right? I mean, if you're a veteran, you've been playing for a long time, you're in a decent guild, you probably have a lot of guild raid boxes yourself. Now, let's address the elephant in the room when it comes to all these imprint stones. So Netmarble, I really like the chapter fight game mode. I enjoy it. I think it's fun. It's nice that we're getting some resources, and it's nice that we can get those resources from crafting imprint stones. However, there's one big problem, or one glaring negative about this. You haven't gave us no other way to gain gold hammers. We're not able to gain any more gold hammers, which is not good, my friends. I mean, if you can't gain gold hammers, but you have to level up more imprint stones, it's just going to make it even harder to level those things up. And maybe that's their way of separating the whale and free-to-play, which they're definitely doing. But I really think they should give us more ways to get gold hammers. Now, I realize that I just told you guys that you can salvage a leveled up imprint stone to get more hammers, but who's going to level up an imprint stone, spend all those hammers, and then salvage and get less hammers back? You're not going to do that, right? That's not worth the investment. You're going to get pretty screwed doing that. I mean, if you already have some lying around that you're not going to use, and that's only going to be a select few of players that's going to have that available to them, yeah, sure, why not? But for many players out there, and you know, I try to just use imprint stones that I use on a regular basis, right? So I really don't want to salvage any of the ones that I've leveled up. So I do think that they should give us more ways to farm gold hammers. whether they're giving us more in the immortal dungeons. By the way, we got Immortal Victor back. Thank God. I know a lot of us are going to be happy about that. And you're going to be able to use Zero in here because he does have Bleed, which is something to think about. I mean, give us more gold hammers in certain other game modes. Maybe put gold hammers in certain exchange shops. I mean, there's all kinds of things they can do. Increase the amount of gold hammers that you can get from the exchange shop and guild raid, right? Oh, my bad. We can't even get gold hammers from here. I thought we could get gold hammers. My bad. Totally mistaken on that one. But maybe put gold hammers in there. Just give us more ways to be able to farm gold hammers. Even in the RHD, if you would just give us, every time, like when we log into RHD, Reviving Hell's Dungeon here, whenever we log into this, we collect our experience bottles. Add some gold hammers to this. What would be the big deal if you would give, 2 or 3 gold hammers free a day to everybody that comes in here and plays RHD? It wouldn't be a big deal, and they would get, 10, 15 a week, right? And that's not a lot, but it definitely would make things a lot better for the players, for all the players out there. You want to keep balance in the game, Netmarble. You don't want to separate whales and free-to-plays. And I feel like, when you implement something like this, a lot of us veterans and whales, we got a lot of imprint stones lying around, right? We got a lot of these things lying around, so we can salvage the living crap out of these things, right? I'm going to end up salvaging quite a few of these, right? By the way, you don't get as many resources when you salvage the stones from the mystery boxes. Like, if they're not gold hammer stones, you're not going to get as many of these, right? And again, only salvage the stones that you feel you should. Like these double attacks, I really don't want to get rid of them, right? I'm going to have to go through here and just salvage the HP ones. But we really need more ways to farm gold hammers. I think that's the resource that people are going to be lacking on when it comes to this. I mean, now you want us to level up 5 imprint stones. And again, guys, only put 5 imprint stones on your most valuable characters. The characters that you play with religiously. Or, obviously, if you love a certain character and you want to jack them up. Like, I know Rugal isn't... he's kind of fallen behind a little bit because of the other characters that's coming to the game. But I'm probably going to jack him up and give him 5 imprint stones just because he's my favorite character in the game. So I'm probably going to jack him up. And he's still a great character to level up, right? He still is a BS character. So let me know how y'all feeling about Chapter 5 and acquiring more gold hammers. I mean, even if it was just 10 to 15 gold hammers a week, I think that would really make the difference for a lot of players out there. And let me know what characters you've gotten, what cards you've gotten. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.